I, the Maize Mad Man. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maize Mad Man. I'm here with my guy.
It's your boy, the Maniac.
My other guy.
Your boy, Glitch Max.
Yeah, boy. Hey, so look, man. Right out the gate. All right, this is a very special episode. If you saw the headline, then you know what it is. 2 million views episode. Special thank you to all of you watching, all of you that will watch this. It's not possible without you, but without any further ado, because it is Maize Out Monday, because we do have special guests on Maize Out Monday, this guest, none of these 2 million views wouldn't have been possible without any further ado. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's special guest, co-host, none other than Kinetic.
It's Kinetic.
What's good?
Kinetic.
It's Kinetic. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I think we got a handful of wins coming up to end the season, and I think we're gonna see the team start rolling. We're gonna get guys healthy over the next couple weeks, and I think it's gonna be another good end to the year.
Absolutely. Now, real quick, we got to go back to go forward. It is the 2 million view episode. I got to give some thanks, right? First and foremost, the fans, right? The people who watch this show, watch this channel, have patronized this channel. Thank you. First and foremost, I'm gonna name a couple people. If I leave you out, it's not purpose. I promise. But first, I gotta thank my guy Troy. Troy, who's probably not here, he's dealing with some health things, but Troy was one of the early subscribers to the channel. One of those guys when I was in the garage that was like, "Hey, you sound like you in a garage." So shout out to Troy. Troy also very instrumental in Throwback Thursday. In fact, some of those interviews you saw wouldn't have been possible without Troy. So I got to thank Troy. Dom, the Dom father, another one of the early guys who were telling me it sounds like you're in a trash can when you talk. I got to thank the Dom father who just showed up, by the way, long way from the garage. That's a fact. Thank you to Dom, who has also kind of been a consultant to the show too. So thank you, Dom. DK all day, my guy. He doesn't come up often, but when he does come up, it's memorable. He showed up to the spring game too, got a hat signed from everybody, every one of us. Shout out to DK. Marmar, nothing needs to be said, right? Like everybody knows Marmar. We know we've been through his tragedies and his triumphs, whatever. Marmar is a staple on the show. My man Steven, the Maniac's twin from Alabama, with black parents, but they're twins. And his mother is also from my hometown. Shout out to Dayton. Anybody from Dayton? Jay Marriott, I know from the turf. Yeah, shout to those guys. I'm missing people. I know it, man, and I don't want to.
Mike Legend.
How could I dare miss Mike Legend? Mike Legend, you know who you are. Shout out to Mike Legend.
And even though they're not here very often, Ripstar was one.
I gotta give Ripstar some love. I gotta show Ripstar some love. Who's upset with your boy right now? For apparently allowing my mods to do what my mods should be doing, and that's mod. But shout out to Ripstar. Shout out to Ripstar, man. Shout out my guy G Boulder, bro. My man G Boulder, we had a little patch there after the spring game, but we good. Shout out to G Boulder. And I'm just gonna stop giving shout outs. Everybody, you know who you are. We appreciate you. I'm gonna let the other guys talk about the fans here in a second. But first, I gotta thank these guys, man. the Maniac. My brother came on. We captured, kind of lightning in the bottle, kind of rescued me on that show where I was under the weather. And since that time, we've been rocking. This is my guy, brother for life. The guy underneath me right now, we didn't always see eye to eye in terms of the points, but definitely respect his mind, respect his opinion. This guy, Kinetic. By the way, Kinetic, put your link in the chat too, so people know. Obviously, we know Kinetic's going through a hard time, and it's especially hard with that government shutdown. We know that the government's open now, but it really set my man back. So if you can help, do that. And Lich Max has really been a lifesaver here doing the production thing. He's really been holding us down. So I gotta show some love to Lich Max. I appreciate all of you. The people who aren't here: Johnny Olden Jr., John Diadamo, TJ, Ronan, and everybody else that I soaked some game up from. Even got the Buckeye Boys. I'm gonna shout them out. I've been on their channel a couple times. Their fans hate me, but it's all good. They're supposed to. But yeah, man. Maniac, what you got to say?
Yeah, man. First and foremost, man, shout to everybody who supported my brother here. He started this from the mud. He really did. I found him, just found him on the internet. I liked his work. And, eventually I said, hey, man, listen, man, I'm trying to get in that kitchen, man. You hiring any chefs? He said, yeah, it might be a spot for you. So, thank you, man, so much for giving me the opportunity to share this, man, this milestone with you. And we're just trying to reach even higher, and it will. This is just the beginning. But of course, Kinetic, man, shout to Kinetic. Kinetic is another dude, man. I met Kinetic personally in the spring game. Good dude, very good, smart mind, a little stubborn, but regardless, that doesn't take away from my brother's intelligence when it comes to the game. He knows what he's seen, and he knows how to break a game down better than a lot of people, man. So we had a nice run, and now Lynch Max, man, he's here helping us try to grow, and that's amazing. That's what it's about, man. At the end of the day, it's about just growing together, man, and people pitching in because it takes a village. So, man, yeah, shout to everybody, and also even shout to the people that hate watch, because you help with the views. Thank you, because I know there's a lot of you, and there's a lot of Buckeyes that are subscribers and members of the channel who show love and respect to them, man. So again, thank you, everybody. This is just the beginning, and we ready to keep cocinando.
Real quick before I let Lich and Kinetic go, I see some people who I forgot. My man E is in here. Shout out to E. He was also at the spring game. Richie Dubs, who is a Buckeye fan, but I appreciate Richie. He gave me the nickname actually, Thrizzleton. Shout out to Richie.
One of the Buckeye fans I could tolerate.
Absolutely, and of course Dub Q, my guy Dub Q, West Quad. Former Wolverine himself, G's Louise. Shout out to all of you guys. All right, Lich, what do you have to say, sir?
I'm honored that you guys let me come up and help you guys with the show, with the giving my ideas place to breathe when it comes to like the intros and like and that sort of stuff. I just kind of do it for fun, and it's good to see like somebody actually take it and have success in using it. Like with editing and whatnot. Like that's just for fun for me. And then I'm glad, and then obviously helping out backstage to kind of take some of the load off of you during the shows. I mean that's what it's about. I mean I started watching you guys when you first brought Kinetic up, and I've tried to keep up as best I could through like my job and whatnot while I'm doing my job, keeping up with the Maze Out Mondays. I'm usually working when it's going on. But yeah, I'm glad to see you guys succeed. I'm glad that you guys made it to over 2 million views. Now, if we could get those subscriber base up to 2 million, that'd be even better. You
Oh,
know,
that'd be fire, right?
right? And also, like, if you guys haven't yet and you're new here, this is the 2 million view special of Maze Out Mondays. Hit that subscribe button. Consider being a member. This is a great community, and you won't regret it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now, last not least, Kinetic. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, I just, first let me say thank you for letting me post that link in the chat again. I just want to say thank you to everybody on this panel and in the chats, the viewers that have helped me over the last year. I would not have kept the bills on, kept stuff paid, going through the thing that I'm going through, which I'm not going to go into. A lot of you guys know, but like you said, the government shutdown has delayed me getting the date set for the arbitration where I'll get the disability. So I still, appreciate any help that I get along the way, but hopefully it'll be coming soon. But I, just thank you to you, Maize. I mean, you brought me up. So you can add Lichmax. I've known Lichmax for almost a decade, and he can attest. I had all the stuff to do streaming and everything for like 2 years, but I didn't have the confidence to even try it. I didn't think I had anything that people wanted to listen to, or that my opinions were necessarily anything people would agree with or want to hear. And you are the one that talked me into coming on the show, to calling into other shows, and got me doing this. And in a lot of ways, doing the shows and just interacting with the community here and on social media, in a lot of ways helped me get through everything that I've been going through for the last year and a half. Just emotionally, and like fighting depression and stuff like that. Like, y'all have saved me from that. So I can't express enough thanks to you and Maniac and TJ and Johnny, and all of the people that watch. And again, Lichmax has known me for almost a decade, and he's been there for me in ways that I could have never asked or expected from a friend. So I got nothing but thanks to give to every one of you guys. Shout out to everyone that embraced and accepted me when you brought me on. Everyone in the chat, I remember Dom, Marmar, Jeez Louise, a lot of them really embraced me from the start. DK, a lot of them, man. And shout out to the viewer that we have. He doesn't talk much, but the guy that came and hung out with us at the spring game, Jay, he was a cool dude, and one of Johnny Olden's biggest fans. But that was a cool dude. But it's just been a great experience, man, and I love it. I love the doors that this has kind of opened up for me. The relationships I've built with some of the viewers, some of the players, the players' families, and doing other podcasts. Like, I can't say thank you enough. So I appreciate everything that everyone here has done.
No doubt. And by the way, thank you again. All right, let's get to it, man. I know you guys didn't come here for us to get all sappy and all of that. But we do have football to talk about. Michigan will be back in the saddle this Saturday, and we're gonna talk about it. Goes still trying to go on Lichmax, man. Hey, go. He played football. Goes. He knows what he's talking about. All right. Anyway, Lich.
Hey, Maze, we did forget two important people. We cannot forget to shout out West Quad and Juju.
Definitely. I did shout out West Quad.
He got West Quad.
But definitely need to shout out Juju, who is a huge contributor when he comes on. And has, good information too. So shout out to Juju. How am I gonna forget Juju? Make sure you hydrate with Henny. Shout out to Juju. All right. Let's get to it. Lich, we have reached that time. We will bring you back, sir. Of course, we got to get these Lich picks, and we've been keeping up with your Lich picks. We're gonna go over last week too, but bring us up the next chat, and if you got a message before you get out of here.
Oh yeah, before I do get out of here, I gotta let the people know how to get their messages read, because some people forget. If you want to guarantee your message gets read, send in the form of a super chat. Then you can guarantee somebody on the panel here will read your message out loud. So if you want them to say something crazy or out of pocket, make sure it's tame though. Tame. Send in the form of super chat. Otherwise, we're gonna pick and choose what we want to read. So make sure that make sure you pay for it to get them to say it, and hit that like button too. Gotta get those likes up.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Lich Max, he does bar mitzvahs.
I'll see you for Lich picks. I'm out.
Absolutely. Shout out to Johnny Odin Jr. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, salute. The crew is back together. Shout out to JOJ, my guy, your guy. Don't tell Johnny what to do on Johnny's live. All right, let's get to it. Banner number 1. What we got behind door number 1, Lich? Let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Maize Mad Man, Maniac, and Kinetic proudly present to you the good, the bad, the ugly, 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 ugly. All right, I'll be honest. We are not prepared for this, but we're just going to try to do it. A season's worth of the good, the bad, the ugly for Michigan. We improvised this one. I know Maniac is probably like, what the hell is going on? But for the season, the good, the bad, the ugly for Michigan, because everybody else is probably going to need time to get their thoughts together, I'll kick it off. The good for Michigan this season, obviously, Bryce Underwood plays football at the University of Michigan. All right. It doesn't get much better than that. Now, granted, Bryce Underwood has not played the way that I'm sure some people thought he would at this point in the season, but he's still a true freshman. He's still a very young guy, and he plays football for the University of Michigan. They kept one at home. Something, by the way, that we couldn't do with the last 2 highly recruited guys out of the state of Michigan that play quarterback. All right. The bad for me has to be the drops this season. It's been a ton of drops. No matter who you look at, everybody, it seems like, has dropped the ball. Even Andrew Marsh early in the season dropped a couple passes. Now, granted, since that time, he's been Michigan's best receiver by a mile. So shout out to Andrew Marsh, but the drops are the bad for me. And the ugly has to be Michigan's performance on the road against the best teams on their schedule this season. Oklahoma on the road, USC on the road. It got bad. It went downhill fast. And that's something that you don't want to see. But that's the good, the bad, the ugly for me. Let's kick it to my guy, the Maniac. What's the good, the bad, the ugly?
As Michigan in general, so far.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah.
All right. So the good is the running game, man. What our running backs has been able to do, we would have easily had 2,000 yards on running backs if Justin Hayes was 100%. There's still a small chance that he can return. We're still waiting on that. Cool. The bad is the passing game. I thought our passing game would have been way more consistent than this. Hence why we said even with a freshman quarterback, our passing game is going to be much better than last year, which it is, but not by much. Let's call it like it is. It's not by much. And the ugly is the inconsistency of this team. From week to week, it's too inconsistent on many fronts, from coaching staff to players, and I don't like that. I think we're people, yes, we are young, but we're still veterans in many places. The wide receiver room, with the exception of Marsh, is a veteran group. The O-line, El Hadi, Crippen, those are veterans. Sprague played last year. Lynx played last year. Our running backs is good, right? Our defensive line, all seniors. Our whole D-line is leaving next year. Our linebackers, our secondary. Come on. That shouldn't be the case for this team to have these inconsistencies week in and week out. And I'm hoping to see a different team when they kick it off this Saturday.
No doubt. Kinetic, what you got? Good, bad, ugly.
So my guy, the Maniac, stole my good. Justice Haynes, Jordan Marshall, lights out. I think they're by far the good of the team. But since that was Maniacs, I'm gonna say recruiting, man. Recruiting since Sharon took over that last year and this year, it's on the rise. Like it's this year's class, last year's class, better than any class under Harbaugh, I think, as far as like class rankings.
No, Jim had two classes ranked 5, I believe.
The one with the one with Rashawn Gary was
Rashawn Gary.
One class.
Either way, it had been a while since we had a class like that.
True.
And it's back on track. It's looking up. I like the direction that we're going. For the bad, I'm gonna say it's on defense, man. The tackling and the assignments, the fundamentals of defense. Just keeping your assignments, being in the right gap, being in the right place, and then when you get hands on somebody, you take them down. That was something that we didn't have a problem with, at the start of this decade, and we've had a problem with it this season. So a lot of that, I think, some of that is youth, but we still got to coach that up. We got to coach that out. That's on the coaching staff 100%. For the ugly, I'm gonna get a little heat for this, but the fan base bailing on the team and the coaching staff so easily, but more than that, turning on each other when they don't agree with each other. The number of people that I had attack me on social media because I didn't agree with their takes on after a bad game was crazy. I don't care how much you and I disagree. I'm not going to come after you personally like that. Let's be better than that. We're Michigan. But if we want to talk about just the team, the ugly, I'll say we got 2 uglies for the team itself, and that's going to be special teams play. JB Brown has not shown me anything in 2 years. He's got to show something big, or he needs to be looked at in the offseason. And also the injuries, man. We've had over 25 injuries on the team this year. Yeah. Like there's something going on with that.
Good, man. I like it. I like it all. By the way, Tress has turned out not to be Ben. But again, who is Ben? Right. That said, I like all of the good, bad, the ugly. Dom really hates bubble screens. All right, ladies and gentlemen. No more bubble screens for Dom. Real quick, let's get to these super chats before we go to our next segment. Shout out to JR Morris. Thank you for the $4.99. He says, congrats on the 2 million views. Love the show, guys. And we appreciate that, JR Morris. We hope to deliver 2 million more views. Hope you guys are here to patronize the channel for that. And Kirk Wilson, shout out to him. Thank you for the $20. He says, congratulations on the 2 million milestone. The band is back together. The 3 amigos. Shout out to Kirk. Absolutely. It's just a matter of time before I shut the whole live down, though, because it's so kinetic. All right, let's get to it. What's next, Lich? Northwestern preview. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we all came here for. This week, Michigan travels to Chicago. Not just Chicago, not just to play Northwestern, but to Wrigley Field. This is going to be a historic game between 2 historic programs. They play for an historic trophy. But Northwestern, by the way, I think 3-3 in the conference right now. They started the season off very shaky, but they got it together. They played some good football. They knocked off Penn State, right? Now, Granted, beating Penn State now just looks like what you're supposed to do. But at that time, it was a big deal that Northwestern beat Penn State. Also, Michigan coming off of 2 kind of shaky wins over lesser opponents, right? Poor Lobro, we got it done against them, and then Purdue, who is kind of the laughingstock of the conference right now. So who knows what to expect? What are you guys expecting? Let's kick it off with Kinetic. What you expect for Northwestern in Michigan?
So I think Northwestern is better than a lot of people are giving them credit for, but I don't think that they're gonna really be able to match talent for talent with Michigan over the course of the long game. Their quarterback, Stone, 1,500 plus yards this season. You can't deny that. Like the kid is pretty decent. I just think that they're very inconsistent. If you look at some of the stats for the season for the teams, They are averaging 22.1 points per game. Michigan's averaging 25.7.
Right.
Michigan's allowing an average of 18.4. Northwestern's allowing 24.6. You look at passing yards per game, we're 30 yards ahead of them on passing yards average per game, and about the same rushing yards.
Yeah.
And then the biggest key I think to it is going to be the turnovers. They are 112th in the country in turnovers. Michigan is 10th. So I think that there's I want to say it's 13 differential between the two teams on the season for turnovers. Right. So I think that's going to be the key to it. That, and I think that Jordan Marshall is going to need to have a breakout game, but I think he's built for it. I think he's built for the late fall type of football, that Big Ten style football, the cold weather football. I think Jordan Marshall is going to have a big game, and I need to see a bounce back from Bryce Underwood. 145 passing yards against Purdue. It's not where it should be. He's a true freshman, but I need to see that he's learning from it and not making the same mistakes.
No doubt. Go ahead, Maniac.
Yeah, man. Very interesting game, right? On paper, this is a game Michigan should win, right? But again, you don't win games on paper, you win them on the field. Now, when we looking now on Michigan on the defensive side, I think this is the one player we must key on. This is the one player that we must contain. Caleb Komolafe. He is a beast. He's one of the best running backs in the Big Ten. This guy is a dog. This guy got speed. This guy can make plays. And if you look at Michigan's last two games, our run defense hasn't been the best. It's been the bend but don't break. And early in the season, we were just stuffing everybody. Only Mattia really had that game. And then, of course, the running back from USC. But besides that, we was piped on everybody, choking them. This is the game. If Michigan just could stop the run game, it's going to be a long day for Northwestern. I don't think their receivers could really match with our secondary. And I'm expecting Derek Moore to continue his hot streak as a defensive end. I believe he's either 1 or 2 in the Big Ten in sacks. He has 8.5 currently. Last I checked, he was tied for first, but I don't know if that changed. So defensively, get to the quarterback when they pass and stop their run game. Now on the offensive side, we all know what we want to see. This is for everybody. We know what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball. But the question is, gentlemen, who's running back number 2? Is that Kuzda or is that Jasper Parker? Regardless, I'm okay with either one because you can't give everything to my man Marshall. And, of course, can Bryce, again, this season, can he fix that vision problem he has? Can he fix his happy feet? He just need to be calm. He needs to have confidence in his O-line. Buy it. I get it. The O-line hasn't been great pass blocking, but it hasn't been horrible neither. Give them some time. Receivers catch the ball. Michigan does that. We shouldn't have much of a problem. Now, Northwest is going to come to play. They're very coached. They're very disciplined. And they're a gritty team. They just not talented. So I'm expecting Michigan, to be in a tough game. But I finally want to see a game where we break away in the fourth quarter and it's like a 34-13 kind of game for Michigan.
Yeah, I think both of you bring up great points, by the way. I think one of the things, I think Kinetic brought this up, that the turnover differential, where Michigan's been really good in terms of the turnover differential and Northwestern not so much, as something that can get them in trouble. And I think that's where Michigan shines basically against everybody. So far this season, it's been a turnover against everybody, right? Everybody Michigan's played, they forced a turnover against. So I expect that to be a difference in this game for Michigan. Northwestern, like you said, Maniac, is a gritty team. They're going to come to play. They know what's on the stake or what's on the line for Michigan. They want to ruin Michigan's season, I'm sure. And they have the advantage of playing at home. Now, granted, it's not necessarily at home. It's at Wrigley Field. which I expect there to be a lot of Michigan fans there too, honestly. But it's technically a home game for Northwestern, right? That said, this is the second bye week for Michigan. Last year, I think after the second bye week, that Michigan played pretty well, right? It was that first bye week.
Wasn't it against Northwestern too?
Correct.
I think it was, right.
After the second bye week, we play Northwestern at home, had our
Scored 50.
best offensive performance, put up 50 points,
Right.
all offensively, no defensive, all offensive. And then we went into Columbus the following week. And
Exactly.
That was Davis Warren's coming out party.
yes.
Fact. And I think that's something that was basically Michigan's best all around performance outside of maybe that bowl game. The bowl game was pretty good all around, but in terms of really putting pedal to the metal, that was Michigan's best performance a year ago. I expect to see something similar this year. The talent discrepancy between these two teams is massive, right? It's a huge chasm between these two teams in terms of the talent. Northwestern is well coached, but I do expect to see a complete game from Michigan. Finally, maybe the most complete game we've seen to this point. I think Washington was a pretty good game for Michigan all around, but I think this one can be even better, should be even better. And like you said, Maniac, we just want to see it all come together. Michigan with Bryce getting the ball downfield, completing those passes downfield because he's had some opportunities. Guys catching and securing the football. We want to see that. The offensive line, I can't really complain about the offensive line over the past couple games. They've been playing fairly well. And I just want to see them continue that, maybe improve even, right, with their play. Defensively, Derek Moore has been a nightmare these last 3 games. Want to see him continue to do that. And Jair Hill is going to catch one of these interceptions, I promise you. It could be coming this weekend. But talk to us in the chat. What y'all think? What do y'all want to see from Michigan this weekend? Even the haters. I know it's some Buckeyes in there too. Yeah. Talk to us. What y'all
I also forgot to mention that Michigan's defense, every single game so far, has caused at least 1 turnover each game. Let's hope for that trend to continue on Saturday.
Yeah. I think
so what are you guys' predictions? So it's a 9.5 we're 9.5 point favorites, and the over under for the game is 40.5. What do you guys think?
Look, I'm gonna
bet the over in this one.
Look, as much as this whole season I've been predicting ass whoopings from Michigan, and those are the close ones, and the close ones is ass whoopings. So I'm gonna say until I see it, I'm gonna go Michigan 20, Northwestern 13. I know it should be worse than that, but I gotta see it, gentlemen. And then
that makes sense. You know what's interesting is, and I know it's Michigan. We're not people that really look out for the weather or whatever. We don't need to, but it's been kind of nasty up there lately, right? In fact, one of our guys was stranded in Chicago because of the weather, and of course the government shut down. The combination of the two had him stranded in Chicago. but I think the weather is going to play a part here. That's something that people need to look out for. But I think Michigan wins this one. I'm going to say a final score of 31-13.
Yeah, so I'm not as optimistic as you guys as far as the score. I think with a true freshman, it's a little bit different. And we didn't come out of the last bye week as strong as I expected. So that's kind of tempered my expectations. Also, Northwestern played USC pretty tough. So I think Michigan covers the spread, but I don't think we hit the over. I'm going to say Michigan 28, Northwestern 17.
That would be the over though, right?
No. Would it?
Yeah, that's 40, that's
45.
Okay, then I apologize. My math is hard tonight. Okay, I guess we are going over.
It's all good. All right, real quick, let's read these super chats before we get to our next segment. Shout out to the Dom Father. Thank you for the $10 super chat. He says, M3 and team, your dedication so greatly appreciated. The channel has brought new friends into life. Playing with house money on 11/29. It wouldn't be a Dom comment if he didn't mention that game on 11/29. By the way, spoiler alert, let's just get this out the way. Dom will be the special guest co-host the week of the game because it just makes sense. It's only right. Absolutely. All right. What's the next one? Let's J.R. Morris again. Thank you for the $9.99. He says this Northwestern team is no pushover. They are physical at the line of scrimmage and will be motivated. Michigan has to be disciplined and play Michigan football. Kuzdal and Parker have to step up this week. That is interesting. I think, Maniac, you mentioned this. Which one of those guys is RB2? I think it might be Kuzdal, but go ahead, Kinetic.
I just want to point out something real quick. I haven't gotten an update on the in the last week or so, but the original plan was that Micah would be back this week too.
That would be excellent. By the way, bro, listen, public service announcement. Since week 2, hey, put me up on the big screen, Lich, because I got a public service announcement. Give me the big screen.
Put me on Times Square.
Right.
There you go.
Michigan, find the position, find something, a place where you can utilize Micah's speed, bro. I don't know if anybody saw Micah's footage coming out of high school. This guy's a burner. We need to find a way to use him. The end. All right, Lich.
I just want to be clear. I'm not guaranteeing he's going to be back this week, but I heard from multiple places a couple weeks back that the plan was Northwestern.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes sense. And I can reach out. You can too, obviously, and find out if indeed he is back. By the way, I got some other information, but that would be excellent. Whether it's kick return, punt return, whatever, bro. We didn't see Cole Cabana for his entire time at Michigan. And I don't want that to happen for Micah.
To your point with his high school film, like he had 1,000 yards on like 70 carries or 60 carries, something stupid. It averaged out to like 14.98 yards per carry.
Insane, bro.
And it was at Bishop Gorman playing against other top high schools.
Insane yards per carry average, that's for sure. All right, what's our next segment? Big power rankings. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. And I got it ready. Don't worry, it's ready to go. You have you done this with us before? Kinetic.
I think we did like I did the preview thing. I don't know if we did the preview
when we was
doing all right.
Which, by the way, I was the only one of the three of us, if I remember correctly, that said that Penn State was not legit this year.
Hey, bro, I think 95% of the country.
I'm not going to sit here and lie.
Go back to the preview. Go back to the preview. I said it was going to be Oregon. I know I was wrong. I said Oregon. Like they're not the top either.
Oregon is in the mix though. Oregon is in the mix still.
But I didn't expect them to lose to Indiana. But I did say Penn State was not legit. That I did not trust James Franklin.
Yeah. Listen, now granted, okay, I believe you if you said you didn't trust James Franklin because nobody did. And it turns out that James Franklin doesn't trust James Franklin. But that said, I don't think anybody saw what happened to them this season coming. The team is just too talented, right? Too talented to lose
I had them
to everybody.
I had them with 2 losses, but I had them not making the conference championship.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it. The worst team in the Big Ten, gentlemen, is who?
Damn, that's a great question because with Wisconsin upsetting Washington last week, that kind of gives them still the worst team in the conference.
Wait, Purdue is worse than them, though, bro.
Yeah, I think it's by far away Purdue.
Hey,
they got 2 wins.
All right, Purdue. Can we say Penn State? I don't care if there was an adult like with Indiana. How many in a row have they lost?
Yeah, Penn State is not a good team. They down here too. They the best. Penn State's the best worst team.
The best
best worst team.
The best worst team in the nation.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to these bets. Oh, we got other worst teams. All right.
Nah, absolutely. You got to put Wisconsin there still. I don't think that gets them out the mud. Yeah, they got the win, but I think that's more of a fluky kind of
Okay.
win. But they're there.
I think if Wisconsin's down there, we got to put
Michigan
UCLA
State.
and Michigan State.
Yeah,
Because I think Wisconsin's better than both of those
Damn.
two teams.
yeah, Michigan State and you're right, and UCLA.
And UCLA, even though UCLA
Now,
UCLA has a win over Northwestern, right?
Yes,
yeah.
They got a win
But-
over Penn State. Now, granted, Penn State's the worst team, the best worst team.
I'll say this though. I think that
UCLA might be the best worst team.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're the best
You're
worst
right.
because, like, and I will say their interim head coach. If he doesn't get a chance to be their head coach, that's a crime. Because the way he came in and like turned that team around in the first couple weeks after they fired Foster, and they didn't have. I don't think they had anybody that like decided to sit out and redshirt for the season or get ready to transfer. Like,
Yeah.
that dude's legit. That guy's going to be a good coach. So
All right, listen, we do have 5 teams as the worst. We can't have 5 worst teams, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
put
move
UCLA
UCLA
up,
in as a bad team. They're just a bad team.
I
I agree with you.
But you don't think so? Do you think UCLA is better than Wisconsin?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So you got to put now. What's this bad?
Now we at the bad, right?
You got to put Maryland.
Low key is one of the worst teams, but I'm gonna go ahead and put them up there as bad.
Hey, I just
And,
want to.
just one more team there, and I would say Rutgers.
Okay. Yeah. These are bad teams.
Remember
Yeah.
when y'all called me crazy and I told you that Mike Loxley might not make it to the end of the season?
I think you did say that. I'm not.
He's not fired though, is he?
There's
Not
rumors that he will be. He hasn't been yet.
So here's the thing. Here's
But-
why I don't think he will, unless that kid, the one kid, flips.
Oh, the Washington.
the defensive end.
Yeah. If he flips, then okay, it might be the end of Loxley. But Loxley's been recruiting at Maryland like pretty well. Now, granted, you got to win some games too. But what do people? I this is one of the things that always like bothers me. What do people think that a program like Maryland is gonna do in this conference? No disrespect to
No,
Maryland.
No,
Well,
they
hold
good.
on, hold on.
As long as Michigan plays there, it gives us a place to go.
Well, hold on.
Right.
Because you look at the Big Ten. Okay, I don't think anyone should expect Maryland to be better than Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State.
Right.
But you're telling me
Oregon,
that Maryland,
USC.
right, Oregon, USA. But like you're telling me they can't be better than Wisconsin, than
Yeah.
Michigan State, than Iowa.
I don't think they can be better than Michigan
Northwestern, Purdue,
They are right now, by the
And-
way.
and let's be clear.
Illinois.
Maryland through the years has had talent.
Right.
These guys, they recruited well. I wouldn't say great, but it's not like they're Minnesota. They've recruited better than that. These guys, they have a quarterback, a true freshman who Malik Washington. As long as you get some guys around him, this guy is legit. This guy is good.
Yeah.
So coach and its scheme, it's a lot, man. Sometimes I know as fans, we just like snap our fingers and just everything go to perfect. It don't work like that, man. It
I mean,
really doesn't.
Listen, I like Loxley as a coach. I think that Maryland should be in that, like, they should be fighting with Illinois to be in that second tier of Big Ten teams every year. And the last couple of years, they haven't been.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, they start off is where Maryland, they're a sprinter team. They come out hot. But the season is a marathon. When we get to the finish line, everybody's ahead of them now. And it's like,
Yeah.
yo, bro, you was out the gate, man. You was the fastest one. Now you team cacadoodle.
So this is why it bothers me. Like Maryland, historically, I don't think that the program is better than Iowa. Obviously, I just no thinking about it. They're not better than Iowa. Nebraska, even Northwestern might be giving them some run. Oregon, USC, Washington. Every one of the new teams, right? Every one of those 4 new teams, maybe outside of UCLA, historically better than Maryland. Like, I just don't know where people like firing coaches and stuff like that for some of these schools just doesn't make sense to me because you're not expected to be good.
Right.
But I get it. Whatever.
I agree with you.
Well,
Yeah.
but you also want to, I guess, some people were saying, bro, we tired of being a welcome mat, right? Like, yo,
Yeah.
we want to win. We bringing you here to win. We're not going to be happy with 7-5. Now we look at a program like Maryland. We like, yo, bro, you win 8 games. That's a good season. They like, nah, F that. We want to be better. So I respect it, but I also get your point, Maze. Is like, yo, bro, y'all gonna be having a new coach every year then. Because
Exactly.
like good.
Yeah. Like programs like Maryland, they should have here's the perfect example. Programs like Maryland should have coaches like Kirk Ferentz that are just there for 30 years because it's not going to get better. You know, like somebody said, every 3-4 years, maybe they rise up. But it's programs like Ohio State, like Michigan, like USC. These are programs that hire and fire coaches, right? That should be anyway, even though historically Ohio State really doesn't even do that. And it wasn't until Rich Rod that Michigan got into that, you know, sort of thing. But that's the point I'm making, right? Programs at the top are the ones that are like, yo, we can get better.
And listen, I'm not trying to hate on Loxley. I would take Loxley over James Franklin.
I don't know.
Track record says Franklin, but who knows, right? It depends. So,
but Loxley hasn't got to head coach a team like Penn State.
Let me ask you this, though.
Sure.
Florida, who would you take, Franklin or Loxley, to take that Florida job? If it was between them two, we know it's not going to be. I'm just asking.
I would take Loxley because I look at Loxley right now, and I'm not, because like I said, he hasn't gotten the chance to be the guy, the head coach of a team like Penn State. So I'm comparing him to James Franklin at Vanderbilt. And I'm
Which
saying
was
that
good,
they're on,
though.
Right. No, I'm saying he's on that same level as James Franklin at Vanderbilt. And when I'm comparing those two guys, I take Loxley.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. I don't think he's James Franklin at Vanderbilt, in my opinion, was better than Loxley at Maryland. But I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna die on that hill either. All right, let's move on because there are other bad teams here. Who else do we put in here?
I would say
in this tier,
I would say Minnesota probably. No,
Minnesota's bad. Minnesota's bad.
No, hold on. I would argue Minnesota should be mid because I think that their problem has been more the injuries. The injury to their quarterback, the injuries to Darius Taylor can't stay healthy. Coy Parrish is a great talent and just has been struggling this year. They've had a lot of injuries. I don't think that they're a bad team. I think they're mid, but they've been playing bad because of the injuries.
They're borderline. That's a border. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm not saying you're right. it's right.
I think
I've been trying to tell you, Coy Parrish, you need to be on that train.
They in between. The one I think they're more consistently bad than mid, but hey,
who they beat this year that was worth us saying that they're mid?
They beat.
I'd have to go look at their schedule, but they're 6-3 right now.
They beat the Atlantic Ocean.
Did they beat USC?
No. I don't think they beat USC last year.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, USC's only lost
Nebraska. They beat Nebraska.
But they'd have 1 or 2 more wins. They'd only have 1 or 2 losses this year if Darius Taylor was healthy. Like he was injured, came back, and then got injured again.
I'm with Goj. Goj said a real thing here. Half this league, honestly, could be in the bad category.
Yeah, it's true. But
I'd take Minnesota over Rutgers. I mean,
I would too. Yeah. But Rutgers is also bad. In Illinois, okay, where we feel okay, all right.
Illinois is mid.
Because I was gonna make the argument between Illinois or Minnesota. Who you like?
Illinois. Illinois is
Illinois.
Mid.
All right. Washington, are they bad?
No, they're mid.
I think Washington's what I said they were at the start of the year when we did the preview. I think they're a good team that's a year away. So I would put them at the top of the at the top of the mid category.
Mid.
Is Northwestern bad?
Northwestern they borderline mid bad. They just like Minnesota. You could put them in the same category.
Yeah, I would put them in Minnesota.
So y'all think Minnesota is the best bad team?
Have Northwestern and Minnesota played?
So I look at it like this. I feel like Minnesota's a mid team that's been playing bad because of injuries. I feel like Northwestern's a bad team that's been punching above their weight class.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. All right.
But like Minnesota would be like the bottom of the mid, and Northwestern will be the top of the bad.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think right there.
We'll leave it right here for right now. What else we got?
Nebraska's mid. Nebraska's mid.
Nebraska's mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiola, I've never
Michigan is Michigan a mid team?
I would say based on conference record, we're good. But we can easily mid is right there. Any fan that argues that, I think we lying to ourselves.
I would say
we can, if we play based on talent and we play to our potential, I think we could be the best team. But right now, that's not the case. We got to talk in what it is. And what it is to me, I'll put them as good right now, but I might be a little biased.
Well, I think we're biased for the good, but we're also biased when we see things that we don't like, that we catastrophize and make it worse than it is. Michigan 7-2. They're by ESPN's FPI. We're ranked number 5 in the conference right now. We're ranked 18th nationally. I mean, we've only got one conference loss, right?
Right.
So I don't think we can be mid. I think we're a team that, depending on week to week, you could put us at the top or the bottom of the good tier, and it would be a fair assessment.
All right. So who belongs here with Michigan in mid or in good? I'm sorry.
I think
no Oregon. Let me see. No, that's
Oregon
and USC
is good, and they beat Michigan. We got to put them ahead of Michigan.
Iowa.
Yeah, I think Iowa's a good team with a bad quarterback.
Yeah. And
you don't like the quarterback?
I've never liked Granowski.
I think he's the best quarterback they've had in a long time.
I still don't think he's a good quarterback. That's the point.
All right. And y'all both make great points. He's not a good quarterback, but that's probably the best quarterback they had in years. And listen, when Iowa late in the game when they were driving and they best athlete, what's my man's name? Kanjing, Chaka Chinging. I forgot whatever his name is. King.
Hey, clip that. We need that. We need that on the soundboard.
Right.
He fumbled in the red zone, Oregon, and if he gets that, regardless, if they get a field goal, we'll probably go to overtime. But hey, it is what it is. So they're good. And then of course it's unanimous. Ohio State and Indiana. Now you could flip-flop both, right? If we're looking about quality wins, right? Indiana has gone to the road, has gone into Iowa and won, went into Oregon and won. And we could say what we want to say about Penn State, but that's not an easy place to win, right?
Right.
And even Michigan and Ohio State, even when we go to the Happy Valley, it's never easy times for either of those schools, even if we win. Let's call it like it is. So shout to Indiana on those road wins. I mean, on paper, Ohio State to me is the better team than Indiana, but you can make the argument. They haven't played each other. We don't know if they're gonna play each other. But
all right.
If you're going on accolades, then you got to give it to Indiana.
I want to say this because this is for all the people that talk about Kirk Cignetti being a great coach. This is what they can hang their hat on. Kirk Cignetti is doing this with 8% blue chip ratio. Let me repeat that: 8% blue chip ratio. He's got Indiana undefeated in the Big Ten. All right, undefeated on the season, undefeated in the Big Ten. Now, he has been in some wars with some teams that you would think are lesser opponents, like Penn State now, although talent-wise, Penn State dwarfs Indiana's talent. Iowa, he was in a dogfight with Iowa, but I think even Iowa has like double the talent that they have, at least, on paper. That said, Kinetic, what do you think is Indiana or Ohio State the best of the elite teams?
All right. Y'all gonna call me a hater for this one. I think Ohio State is number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I am not a believer in Cignetti. I understand he's got some good wins this year.
Okay, I want to hear this.
Just like Ohio State lost to Oregon last year, but then beat them in the Rose Bowl.
Hold on.
Got lucky in Oregon.
Somewhere Ben Baller is punching at air right now.
Oh,
But go ahead.
by the way, his name ain't Ben Baller, it's Ben the Buckeye, just for the record. And I'm gonna let him know when I see him.
Just like Indiana can play down to the level of Penn State and Iowa, they can play up to the level of Oregon on any given day. Just because they almost lost to Penn State, I don't think they're a worse team than Penn State. Just because they beat Oregon, I still think Oregon's a better team than them. I think, like you said, he's doing it with a bunch of players. Signetti is a good in-game coach, play caller, strategist, and he's a hell of a talent scout, able to identify under-recruited and
now hold on, Kinetic.
guys under the radar.
Doesn't that make him a good coach?
I think he is good at what he's doing at Indiana. He's got the perfect platform to be able to find those guys that are under-recruited and to prove everybody wrong. The school where he can always have a chip on his shoulder, and that fits him perfectly. But I think if you take when I say I don't think Signetti's a great coach, is that if you put him at a big school, if you put him at a Michigan, at Ohio State, at Oregon, at Alabama, I don't think he's doing what he's doing in Indiana. I don't think he can play that same style of recruiting and coaching those guys up with the biggest and best recruits in the country.
All right. Just to play.
I think that if they play 10 times, like you forced me Oregon beats them 8 out of 10 times.
You force me into these devil advocate moments, all right? But we got to do it. All right.
We got to do it.
People that get the big jobs generally come from smaller jobs where they were successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they come up through the ranks that way. Bro, Signetti is the quintessential. He fits that. He is the poster child for that right now, for a guy that came up through the ranks in terms of taking smaller programs, winning, and then the bigger programs wanting Signetti. I have heard there have been people on this channel that came up when we had call-in shows that were arguing me down tooth and nail that Signetti should be the next head coach at Michigan. And that he would be doing better at Michigan. He would have done better at Michigan last season with what Michigan had than obviously what Sharon did, and that this year we'd be playing for a national championship. What say you to that?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change what I'm saying. Like, Signetti came up as a head coach at smaller schools. Dan Lanning came up as a coordinator at big schools. It's two different paths. I think Dan Lanning's a better coach at the highest level. I think that Signetti is great in his niche at a school like Indiana where he can have that chip on his shoulder. But I don't think he's a great coach compared to a lot of these other coaches. I don't think he's a great coach when you talk about coaches like Saban, Harbaugh, Meyer. I think that Lanning's even a step below them, and I would take Lanning over Signetti 10 times out of 10.
What about Franklin?
I would take Signetti over Franklin. Franklin's trash.
Yeah, no, let me hold on. let me ask you this, Kinetic. Then, what is it that Signetti's gonna have to do in order to convince you that he is now he's not an elite coach, right? We're talking about the big leagues, right? We've seen Tressel. He went from Youngstown State, Ohio State. He won a national championship. He proved it. Like, yo, I'm an elite coach. Now, Signetti, this is Indiana. This is a basketball school. This team was a doormat. This was gum on the pavement. It was the trash of the Big Ten. Right. He has made them a respectful program in college football. Now, everything you said, Kinetic, I'm not saying you're wrong. Absolutely not. I do think the jury's still out on him. But as of what we saw, the sample size that we have gotten from Signetti, we got to give him his flowers. Now, I get it. I'm not saying you have to. Me, I'm just looking at it. I still need to see more. He needs to go in the playoffs, and he needs to win some games against some of these teams because he went right into the playoffs and got his teeth kicked in against Notre Dame. Now, kind of buy it. I expected that. I picked Notre Dame to win.
Right.
This year's a different story. This is a much better Indiana team than last year's Indiana team. So I do want to see more from him. I agree with that part. But as far as me downplaying him as a coach. No, the guy's been cooking, man. But we'll see. You know, at the end, he might be a sprinter. Kinetic, he might look good. Oh my God, Signetti out. And then when we get to the finish line, yo, where's Signetti at? He was in front of us. Yeah, he's still back there. So we're gonna see what happens,
bro.
Man. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. When the playoffs come, then all right. So let me ask you this: if they beat, let's say they play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, and they beat Ohio State, go to the playoffs, make it to the Final Four, or even the Natty and lose, like, where will you put him then? Because that means that he had a good run right there.
Are you talking about him as a coach or the
correct
or
as a coach? As a coach,
okay.
we judging him. I'm judging him based on Indiana, right? What he has done in the school, right. Indiana, the Hoosiers. The Hoosiers. Ain't nobody care about the Hoosiers. Like, you ask anybody, the Hoosiers.
Right. The first thing they said is Bob Knight.
So speak to me in that sense, Kinetic. He goes undefeated through the Big Ten, wins the Big Ten championship, makes a deep run in the playoffs, doesn't win the Natty. What are we talking about Signetti then? What's the outlook on him then?
Yeah, so like I said, I think this Signetti, I'm not saying Signetti's a trash coach. James Franklin is a trash coach. I'm not saying that about Signetti. I'm saying that Signetti, you know, like how in the NFL we get coordinators that are great coordinators at that level, and then when they get a head coaching job, they're just not great in that arena, right? I think Signetti is a great, to steal a basketball term, like a mid-major school head coach. He's able to identify the gems, the under-recruited, the Roman Hembys, the Fernando Mendozas that aren't getting recruited by other people and getting overlooked. You know, Fernando Mendoza wanted to go to Miami. He's a Miami kid, and Mario Cristobal completely overlooked him. Signetti found him, brought him in. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Roman Hemby, same deal. Like, he's good at finding those types of players and then getting the maximum out of them. He's a good strategist on the field on game day. He's a good scout. And talent, has an eye for talent, right?
Right.
But I'm saying that if you put him at a big school, I don't think he's able to do that same thing. What I would need to see is I would need to see him start playing in the arena of top 10, top 15 recruiting classes consistently. I would need to see him go get a job at a big time, top end Big Ten or SEC school. So if he gets Penn State, if he gets Florida, something like that, and is able to do what he's doing at Indiana in that arena, playing with all the big time schools and the other big time coaches, then I'll give him props and I'll come on here. I'll come on your show and say, I was wrong. Signetti's the guy. But I don't think he's that guy right now.
All right.
Shout out to Go Blue. Comment of the night, bro. You won. You won the chat. Comment of the night. All right, look.
That's it. Yeah.
Hold on. Because I am genuinely interested. Shout out to Johnny, man. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He says Kinetic back with the controversial takes. Salute. All right. This is where it's baffling to me. He went out there, he outcoached the guy that you think is a better coach to him in Dan Lanning, right? In Oregon,
mm-hmm.
right?
And it wasn't a fluke. It was domination.
Right. No fluke. He went and outcoached Dan Lanning because he had to outcoach Dan Lanning because his team isn't good enough to beat Dan Lanning's team straight up. All right. Mm-hmm. At least talented enough. Then you are saying here's where I think people are getting lost. Like, if he had better talent, a lot of people in this chat, myself included, think that he could be even better, right? Now, what you are saying, though, is that if he had better talent, then his particular style of coaching doesn't work with those guys who have higher expectation or a different kind of attitude.
I'm saying I don't think he can get those guys.
Okay. That's fair. Especially at Indiana, I think you might be on to something. Although I think their coffers just got crazy in terms of the money that they're able to offer now too. And in the transfer portal, we saw them get busy in the transfer portal. But I see what you're saying. You don't think he can go and get the blue chip recruits out of high school,
right? I don't think Signetti would be doing what he's doing in the pre-portal era.
Okay.
Because what he's doing relies on the transfer portal.
No,
and
I
being
agree
able
with
to
that.
go out to these schools that have guys that are able to produce and that have talent that get overlooked and under recruited and got a chip on the shoulder.
But there's a but here. I agree that what he's doing now relies on the transfer portal.
Right.
But bro, he did this at JMU.
But let me point out something else as well. Another coach who went in to another team that was better than them and outcoached that coach, Sharon Moore, Ryan Day, last year. Does that mean Sharon Moore is a better coach than Ryan Day?
No.
Okay, so then why does it mean Cignetti's better than Dan Lanning?
I mean, so I think they were both.
Are you trying to play the race card? No, I'm trying to.
Bro, I pay so little attention to race that I didn't know until a couple weeks ago that James Franklin was apparently black.
Damn it, man.
I didn't know that.
What's the guy
I just don't care about it.
Who's the guy that looks like him that they always be playing him that
Keegan Michael Key. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, he looks just like him. All right, man. Moving on.
Yeah. We do gotta move on. It's 8:00. All right, look. Shout out to J.R. Morris. Thank you for the $4.99. He says college football has changed. What we perceive as blue bloods has drastically changed with NIL and portal. Mark Cuban is an alum of Indiana.
Can we highlight Johnny's comment?
Yo, son. Yo, y'all are crazy, man. All right, look, give us the next one, Lich. We gotta hurry up, man. We gotta get through these.
Yeah. Let's see.
ATP top 25 breakdown. ATP. Ain't that
Michigan is moving up.
The AP. I'm sorry. AP top 25, not the ATP. No Andre Agassi in this thing here. All right, but let's get it up here.
See who we have.
Teron Nelson.
Yo. All right. Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen.
James Madison. Woo, okay. That's old school.
Yeah, because he left the coffers. No, I'm joking. All right,
bro,
so
he took like 90% of that team with him.
He did.
Last year.
He did.
He didn't leave them anything.
He did not. That is true. All right, so look. 1 through 5. I think this has pretty much been the same 1 through 5 the last like couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, nothing's changed. None of those.
No, someone dropped out of it.
And the top, those top 5 teams haven't lost.
Top 5, I think they've
been like that for a couple of weeks.
All right, we don't have a problem with this top 5, do we? Anybody got a problem with this top 5?
No, that's good.
Not really.
All right.
If you're going based on, if you want to be technical, we could dissect it, but I'm good with this. Based on watching,
I'm good with this.
I think Oregon has an argument over with Georgia and Alabama, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. 1 through 5 is good to me.
I'm good with 1 through 5. All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
6 through 10. This is where it could get interesting. Are you cool with this?
No, get the Irish out of there.
No doubt. I'm with you though. I'm with you. They don't belong in the top 10. But the problem becomes, who do you replace them with?
Well, first of all, I'm putting Oregon at 6 and Ole Miss at 7. And then yeah, the rest of the team suck too. So I don't know.
Well, maybe you can replace Oklahoma with Notre Dame, right? Or move Texas up to 9 and put Oklahoma at 10. Because if we're going based on the losses, right? Notre Dame's 2 losses are from 1, Miami, who's ranked 16, and 2, A&M, who's 3. But Oklahoma's both their losses is to 2 teams in the top 10, that being Texas and that being Ole Miss. So when we look at it, Oklahoma's 2 losses look better than Notre Dame.
That's a fact. That's a snap on top fact.
But look at the schedules. Look at Oklahoma and Texas's schedules against Notre Dame's and how many big time teams they play. Like I think, someone in the chat said that Texas is going to lose this weekend to Georgia. Probably, but I would still take Texas over Notre Dame.
I disagree with the comment section Notre Dame has no good wins. They did beat USC, and they beat them
USC.
pretty soundly.
And
But
USC
again, compare their
punched us
schedule.
in the face.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not a believer in Notre Dame. But here's a question with Oklahoma though, because I didn't get to see Oklahoma their last game. Mateer looked bad when he came back from his with the thumb injury. He looked bad.
That was
Did he look any better in the last one?
Yeah. So they lost to Texas. Then they went to South Carolina. They won that game. Then they came back home, lost to Ole Miss, went to Tennessee. Night game beat them. They had a bye, and now they're gonna play Alabama. Oklahoma plays Alabama this week.
Then yeah, I would put Oklahoma and Texas above Notre Dame.
But both of them are likely to lose this week.
Yeah, but look at their schedule. If Notre Dame played their schedule, they'd be out of the top 25.
Yeah, but now we're getting into like the if this then that, like with the schedule. Like Notre Dame can't play their schedule; they can only play what they have.
But we're talking about which teams are the best, right? Like
right.
Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma, those teams.
Those losses are going to matter, though.
But I'm talking about look at their roster. Look at Notre Dame's roster. Look at Texas's roster. Look at Oklahoma's roster. For a second, ignore the records. Which of those three teams is the worst of the three roster wise? Okay, now,
well, Oklahoma,
because I don't think that Notre Dame does better than Oklahoma with Oklahoma's schedule, because I don't think their rosters.
Well, I mean that's a different argument, but I think Notre Dame's roster is better than Oklahoma's,
and I think Notre Dame has better coaching than Oklahoma.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Let's not get caught up on it. But we all agree though Notre Dame is the team we would take out of this group.
Yeah.
All right.
But I wouldn't drop them more than 11.
Yeah. All right. The next group. Anybody got a problem with this?
11 to 16. Bring boom bing bang. It is what it is. I think Georgia Tech had a bye. Vanderbilt was in the dog fight with Auburn. BYU got cooked. They should have dropped more. So, all right. I'll take that. That's fair.
I don't really have an argument with 12 through 16. I think any of those teams they're all good, but they're all flawed. And I think you could literally jumble up those teams and put them in any order, 12 through 16, and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. All right. 17 through 16.
I will say, I think Miami's season is over with the way Carson Beck is just like throwing everybody under the bus.
Damn. 16 through 20. We got a problem?
No, I think we're good. We're good there. I'm glad they ranked Michigan ahead of both Louisville and Virginia. Both teams lost at home, actually. Yeah. Louisville losing at home to Cal and Virginia losing at home to Wake Forest.
Actually, you know what?
I would drop ranked 26.
I would drop Miami down to 19. I would take SC, Michigan, and Louisville over Miami today.
Yeah, Louisville beat Miami, actually.
Yeah. No, that's fair. All right, and then the final 21 through 25. We good?
Yeah.
I'd put USF over JMU, but yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. We're good. Let's move on. We're good with this. We're moving on. What we got? Final 3 weeks. What to expect? Maniac, introduce this and what exactly you mean.
So if you need, I want you to take one offensive player and one defensive player who you think are going to be the offensive MVP in these next 3 weeks and the defensive MVP in this next 3 weeks for Michigan. Kinetic, since you're here joining us, you go first.
So I think offensive MVP, I think it's going to be Jordan Marshall. Like I said earlier in the show, I think he's built for this time of year. I think he's built for this type of football, and I think he's got a lot that he wants to prove now that the stage is his. On defense, I'm split on this because I think stat-wise, the guy that's going to be like the breakout, the star is going to be Derek Moore. But I think the guy that's not that the stats aren't going to show, I think it's going to be Rayshawn Benny.
Okay.
I think he's going to be. I think his play is not going to show up on the stat sheet, but it's going to open up play for the other guys around him for the next 3 weeks, and that's going to be the MVP of the defense.
Cool. I'm gonna go with the freshman quarterback, Bryce Young, MVP for the
Bryce
rest
Young.
of the season. I mean, wow, Bryce Underwood.
Bryce Young coming back to college, y'all.
Yeah. Hey, he might be. Never mind. Bryce Underwood, MVP on offense for Michigan, and then on defense, I'm going to go with Cole Sullivan. Cole Sullivan for the rest of the season, MVP for Michigan on defense.
Yes. So I'm my offensive MVP. It might surprise a lot of people, but I think in order for us to really make the run that we want, we're gonna need this guy to really step up. He goes by the name of Andrew Marsh. He's a true freshman. I think this week, the bye week, they're gonna really focus, and we need to get Bryce going. I think that's the guy, number 4, numero cuatro. We need it. I think down the stretch, that boy going to eat in these next 3 weeks. And defensively, there's so many guys to pick, right? But I'm going to go with the heart of the defense, and that's always the middle linebacker. Ernest Hausman, we've been cooking you for most of the year. This is your time to make money. These next 3 weeks, you can make a lot of money in the upcoming draft. Make it happen, champ. You got the ability. I'm going Ernest Hausman, Andrew Marsh, and if you think wrong, I'll clothesline your mother. Bing.
Hey, can I ask a question? As an add-on to this too?
Yeah, it's fine.
Give your sort of like guy that could have a breakthrough, not necessarily the star, but a guy that you think could have like just to break through that ceiling for the next 3 weeks that hasn't so far, or maybe has only shown flashes.
Marlon Klein, because I just saw that he's finally mentioned that he's 100%, and I knew it. I was always asking, yo, guys, do you think he's recovered from that ankle? And everybody's like, yeah, I don't think so. And now that he's 100%, Marlon Klein, welcome back, baby. We need that New Mexico Marlon Klein back. At Michigan's offense is rolling once that tight end is cooking.
What's going on over here, bro?
Hey, yo, you gonna lick who's back?
Hey, yo. All right. So look, for me, I think it's gonna be Samaj Morgan.
Okay. You think he's the MVP, or you think he's the guy
breakout?
That's gonna break out. Okay, gotcha.
Breakout. Samaj.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Hey, let's chill out, man.
All right, tell us why. What have you seen from Samaj that you think he's gonna have?
Yeah,
great.
So this is no joke. Samaj actually is open a lot. He was open a lot last season too, but this season he's open deep down the field. Bryce ain't even looking at him.
Okay. If you're Bryce and you see Samaj open, are you throwing it to him? Based on what you've seen this year?
But that's the point. That's why I think Bryce isn't looking at him. Because he's like, even if I put it on this guy. But apparently my man is a practice superstar. And that came from a player.
Good one. Yeah.
That came from a player, right? Like this man shows out in practice. So that's that. And we've seen Samaj be good at times, right? Like his freshman season, he really had some breakout plays. I think he can do that again. All right, hold on though, because we do need to move on.
Well, can I get my breakout player real quick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think we're going to see at least one more really big game, but I think we might see more than one. Zach Marshall.
Yeah. Somebody else brought up Zach Marshall. I think he's part of Lich Picks, which we'll be getting to right here. But real quick, shout out to my light skinned brother Garrison, man. I know a lot of people don't like Garrison, including my co-host here. Shout out to that. I'm not going to get in between that, but Garrison is a person who's been patronizing the channel for a long time, and somebody that does know football. Even when he's trying to take shots at Michigan, but shout out to Garrison. He deserves that. If we're shouting out people, he deserves that too. All right, let's go.
Johnny in the chat.
Samaj about to have him 3 where he is, bro. I'm pissed off about it too, man.
Unless these 3 weeks he get in the kitchen, man.
Well, 2 weeks because he got to do it before the game.
Oh, you're right.
Hey,
Yeah.
has anybody thought about looking into like a charity boxing event with Maniac and Garrison the weekend of the game? Can we organize this?
Let's not do this. Okay, last topic of the night, man. I think it's the last. I hope it's last. Lich picks.
I'm the best there is. Woo! 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 Woo!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Lich has decided to give himself the Ric Flair treatment. It is that time of night.
I hit the wrong button.
It's all good. It's all good. You're the best there ever was.
Does that make you Tony Schiavone in that clip, Maze?
Exactly. That's exactly who I am. All right, Lich, talk to us about your picks this week.
All right, so this week I got Bryce Underwood passing for over 180 yards. I've heard talk that the Northwestern secondary ain't it, so I think there's a good possibility we can see Bryce air it out a little bit more in this game. I got Zach Marshall on the Lich picks, as you mentioned. As getting over 70 yards receiving. I think, as you said, as people have said, freshman quarterback's best friend is going to be the tight end. I think Zach Marshall is going to be that guy for Bryce. He was that guy last week for Bryce. I think he can carry it through to this week, even with Marlon Klein back. Next, I have Donovan McCulley getting under 50 receiving yards. I know that seems strange, but he didn't do great last week. I don't know if this week's going to be any better for Donovan McCulley. Only time will tell. I hope he gets more, but I'm not expecting him to get over 50. Derek Moore, I got him getting over 2 sacks. He got that last week. Got 2 sacks last week. I had him at 1.5 sacks last week. Well, not last week, but the last Lich picks. So this week I'm looking for him to outperform himself from the Purdue game. I want him to get over at least 3 sacks. So I want him to get either 2.5 or 3. That's what I want to see out of him. And then I got Jordan Marshall being our guy on the ground for over 150 rushing yards. Obviously, the run game is important for setting up Michigan's passing scheme. And Jordan Marshall being our RB1 now, he's been stepping up week in, week out. I think we're going to see more of that coming into this week. I think this week we could see him getting way more than 150 rushing yards, but I'd like to see him get at least 150 in this game.
No doubt. Lich picks, ladies and gentlemen. From your boy.
Lich Max.
All right, let's get out of here, gentlemen. Final thoughts. Let's start with you, Lich.
Final thoughts. First off, I want to contradict you a little bit. Samaj Morgan, he's not going to have a breakout season unless you talk about the amount of drops he's going to get.
I don't need this, Lich. I need him to do. You don't understand. If he doesn't, I'm going to wear.
Is on the line.
Yeah.
Hey, if he has a breakout season, it'll be a breakout of the amount of drops he's had all season.
Yo.
Shots to the heart. Bang.
Help me.
Can you put the Lich picks graphic back up on screen real quick?
Yeah.
I want to see what the odds of this are according to FanDuel.
Of Lich?
Yeah, of Lich's picks. If you were to put a parlay together.
No, Lich doesn't necessarily go out on a limb here, but all right.
I mean, I did a couple times, and you yelled at me for it, so I've been trying to keep it more conservative.
No. We yelled at you for not going out on a limb. You said something like Samaj won't have 70 yards. Like, duh. But
hey, in that game, he got 80 yards. I wasn't wrong.
Yeah, man.
Like that game, I said he wouldn't get more than 70. He got 80.
Derek Moore over two sacks is crazy though, bro. That is going out on the limb.
I mean, gotta have one crazy one, And I think he can do it. I think with our defensive line and the way that he's been playing, I think we'll see it.
I mean, this
think
ain't too bad. It's not.
Never
It's
mind.
not like.
Never mind. I can't even pull up McCulley, Moore, or Marshall on there.
Of course not. Of course you can't. But all right, let's go.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, we're Michigan. We're gonna clean the table moving forward. That's obvious. So we're gonna end the season. Probably go to the. We're definitely gonna beat Ohio in November. But anyway, getting out of here.
Yes, sir.
You can find me at Lichback626 on every platform. If you can't find me there, probably not there. You can also find me over at the Gamer Sideline on Fridays between 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start time for Football Fridays. And then you can find me right here on the Best Michigan podcast on YouTube, the Maize Mad Man Show, Maize Out Mondays, where I produce in the back, as you saw today. I also host the Lich Pick segment, which I know is everyone's favorite segment of the podcast, other than the stuff that happens beforehand with Maize and the crew.
Right.
So
no, that's true.
Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe, so that way you guys don't miss out on the next installment of Lich Picks.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Lich. Shout out to my guy, Old Man on the Sticks too, man. Be sure to check out his channel. He had me playing Red Sec. Now he won't play Red Sec with me ever again. All right, Kinetic. Tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on, man. Final thoughts.
Yeah. So as usual, all social media platforms everywhere at Kinetic615, on YouTube at Kinetic615. I've been doing, I've been doing watch along streams for the Michigan Wolverine games on Saturdays and the Minnesota Vikings games on Sundays. I'm also over on the Gamer Sideline with Lichmax on Friday nights. And then I also do a Saturday morning show with Lucian and Mike over on the Final Whistle Network for the AM Scramble to preview the day's games. And then as always, if you have a chance, take a look at the GoFundMe, and any help is appreciated. I really appreciate it, guys.
No doubt. Hey, is that the dude, the Oklahoma dude or whatever? All right.
Cool. No, Alabama, the one that you put me in touch
Alabama.
with.
All right, cool. Maniac.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can find me here, of course, Mazed Out Mondays with my brother, the Maize Mad Man, Lynch Max, right there on Instagram, Gold Blue _Maniac _24. Holla at your boy.
No doubt. Yo, I'm on there. Oh man, I got some. Yeah, I'm gonna be on there tonight. I gotta finish a couple user games, all of that. But anyway, follow me everywhere at Maize Mad Man. Y'all know the slogan: "Stay angry, my friends." By the way, thank you again. Ron Embry, I saw him in here. I gotta thank my brother Ron too. He's a good dude. Shout out to Ron. Till next time, you know the slogan: "Stay angry, my friends." I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. So I just don't get that all that Maze and that lock and all that stuff. I just don't get it, son. And how the
Oh my God, we're shutting the damn live down. Good night, everybody.